Burn! Quack! Quack! Hi, I'm Ross from Cultaholic and welcome to all these WTF moments from Friday Night SmackDown, an episode that was just okay. It was nice to see Kane. It was. Five-star wrestling legend John Morrison proved why he is the longest reigning five-star wrestling champion in the history. The Usos and the Revival had a nice little match. Lacey Evans proves she's getting better and better and better and better and better. Big Otis turned us all on by showing us his lovely technique for the cunnilingus, something we've been gagging to see for a long time, and more things happened as well that we'll talk about soon. Hit the bloody intro. WTF! Now, Kane is my fave, and I know he used to do this way back in day when the Brothers of Destruction were out there beefiest. But not seeing Kane step over the top rope to get into the ring, dragging his lovely peachy arse on the top rope just so much it would go boing, is all kinds of wrong in my opinion, and a brilliant way to start this video of WTF Moments. The integrity is up there. Sort it out, Glenn. Here we have a direct quote from Bray Wyatt when he said it's never nice to brag and find joy in another person's misery. Well, that's the end of WTF Moments, because I simply cannot sit back and watch my illegitimate flesh and blood stand there on SmackDown and call Kane a big red bully and keep a lovely, clean, pristine conscience, which I do have. And then we had the rather shocking revelation that when the Fiend attacks his fellow WWE superstars, when he gets his fingers and sticks them into those WWE superstars, don't think dirty, that's how you do a mandible claw. I think it's a sexual act on his part. Bray said this much himself. He pointed to the picture of Kane that's behind him on the wall and said, "Whoa, that picture being there, that means you and the Fiend, Kane, you must have got it on." And then there was a wolf whistle and a bonus sound effect. I mean, we all know the Fiend is a fiend. He's called the Fiend. He does fiendish things, but I didn't think the Fiend was that kind of fiend. Kane does not watch WWE confirmed. How the piss in hell can Kane stand right there and think the Fiend, that dirty, sexual, deviant dominatrix that he is coming to attack him from the top of the ramp? When's that ever happened before? I mean, eventually Big Glenn turned around, but bloody hell, man, Glenn, when you claimed you still got it, when he took the 24/7, 48/7, 7-Eleven through Kentucky, current Universal Champion, you were lying, weren't you? We've had Kevin Owens pie. We've had what the hell was in Colonel McSweaty Bollocks' lockbox. We've had who the hell was that random ginger man sat opposite Eric Rowan. And now we've got a brand new mystery ting in the WWE. Who the hell do those glasses belong to? Kane wasn't wearing his spectacles. Daniel Bryan wasn't wearing his spectacles. The Fiend wasn't wearing his spectacles. So who do those spectacles belong to? Unless, of course, this is a little hint, a little teaser towards the WWE debut of Bryan Zayn. Couldn't think anyone else that wears glasses like that, I'm sorry. Direct quote from Daniel Bryan this time when he says, "How the hell do you defeat somebody who disappears when he's in trouble?" And I was thinking, Daniel Bryan, the answer could not be more simple. You call Body Moving and John Green. They can find anybody, man. Don't F with cats. And then we have Daniel Bryan being all like, "Bah! I'm sick of it every time he disappears down that hole when he's in trouble." That hole in the middle of the wrestling ring. It's a professional wrestling ring, man, Daniel Bryan. It's not a vortex. Oh my God, is it a vortex? Just go down the pissing hole, man, Daniel Bryan. That's a sentence I never thought I'd say. Or better still, just go outside the ring, lift the apron skirt, and have a little look under there. Now, I'm very sorry for being condescending with that point there, but this, under the ring is a different kind of world. It's a hell. Undertaker, the Fiend, people who used to do that back in the day. It's never tickled my pickle. Kofi Kingston's hair. That's it. Now I know going by this nest here, I know nothing about good hair, but that has got to be an example of Kofi Kingston losing a massive, massive bet. Now I watched last week's SmackDown and I was saddened, I was disappointed, I was shocked and horrified at the disrespect WWE showed the first ever 5-star wrestling champion, a man who held that championship for a whopping 757 days, Mr. Joe Mo. This sort of did his entrance right. but not really. It wasn't right, was it? This week, thankfully, it was back. It was better than ever. The respect that he deserves was given, but I cannot let that disrespect shown on last week's SmackDown go, so that's why I'm talking about it now, because I wasn't here last week. Direct quote from Dash Wilder this time when he says this company cares about us, the Revival, as much as they care about the tag team division. Pyong, pyong, pyong. Dash Wilder shoots on the WWE. I mean, they're going, aren't they? As far as I can see, which isn't very far at all. Granted, they still haven't signed those new contracts, so I reckon the Revival are going, and they don't give a hoot about what they do or say on television until that happens. I hope they go to AEW. That's where they belong. As if Mandy Rose claimed she made that herself. Look at the box, man, Mandy. In the words of Chandler Bing, could that be any more obviously from a shop? That's like me being 10 years old, turning up to art class with the Mona Lisa and saying, hiya teacher, do you like me painting? I did it myself. I didn't do it, I just stole it like Mandy did with that cake. Or maybe she bought it. Nah, she's a heel, she stole it. Direct quote from Adam Pearce now, who was speaking on behalf of WWE when he said, the match has been promoted, the match is happening tonight. Well, isn't this a turn up for the books, WWE? How many times per week, never mind month, never mind year, do you promote a match and then not have that match or segment or whatever you promoted happen on the show you promoted it for? And that's before we even mention stuff like last year's Royal Rumble, where you immoral bastards promoted John Cena to appear even though you knew he wasn't going to be there, only for the kickoff show on Royal Rumble night to start for you to go, he's injured. Who could have seen that coming? I challenge WWE to go another week without promoting something and then that thing not happening on one of their shows. I bet they cannot do it. Card subject to change. My arsehole. My arsehole. And then we have Lacey Evans, of all people, who apparently said all Sasha Banks and Bayley do is hide behind their lack of ability. Lacey Evans saying that about Sasha Banks and Bayley. And I thought Lacey Evans was a babyface now, not a delusional heel. Who should watch it for? I need Patrice Everett to check what's in her water as well. Some people might get that. And next up we have brand new backstage interviewer woman Elise Ashton labeling Sheamus's attack on Shorty G from last week's SmackDown as surprising. And I'm asking, Elise, can this really be surprising when Sheamus quite literally returned from an injury before to do exactly the same thing? 2015 it was. It's the same thing. I don't know about you, but judging by the first time Sheamus appeared with his mohawk and his little clinkers hanging off his chin like bum crumbs in an arsehole, I was half expecting it to happen, and it did. You know what SmackDown did not have enough of? Ads for that game. And this game wasn't even in the XFL, which means, of course, American sports fans, it's an inferior brand of American football. Up the Seattle Dragons. Put your pitchforks down. So next up we have Roman Reigns, who starts taking the top off the announce table in the midst of his tables match against Bobby Roode. Corey Graves then says, "What? Well, I guess our table counts," to which Michael Cole then replies, "Well, of course it does, Corey. It's a table, isn't it, you silly goose?" And I'm like, does it, Michael? Or is it just one of those occasions where it counts when WWE wants it to count? You know, when they change the rules to fit their own narrative. I don't think an announce table counts in a table match because it isn't brown. Oh my God, Bobby, what are you doing? You can't go under there. That's not under the ring. That is used for storage, like an Ottoman bed. That is a different universe where the Fiend lives with all of his puppets. Oh! Daniel Bryan looked really silly on this week's SmackDown, didn't he? Yes, he did. Bobby Roode is not going to make that, said Corey Graves. Now is thinking one thing. Corey, if Colonel McSweaty Bollocks can make that, then bloody Bobby Roode can make that as well. Colonel McSweaty Bollocks is jacked. We all know that. But Bobby Roode, he's jacked. Different levels, man. And speaking of Bobby Roode once more, what a pissing idiot he is. He still has more than enough time to try and nail a sweaty bollocks drop from the top rope through the announce table before the Usos get to him. But for some reason, he turns around and jumps back into the ring where he is met by a double super kick. Now this might shock you people at home, but I'm not an athlete. But I know it takes but a second to leap off anything. And Bobby Roode had about 3 before the Usos could slide into the ring and attack him. Maybe not 3, maybe more like 2. But still, why did he not jump? That bleeding idiot. He deserved those super kicks, so he did. And we're ending with this revelation that took place over the weekend that put to bed my many bad thoughts over the past few months and my many sleepless nights as well. It's a fuck. Oh, thank you, Roman Reigns. During the WTF Moments video for the premiere of Friday Night SmackDown on Fox, I said this. Now, I didn't realise this had to be a question until Roman Reigns made his entrance on this week's Friday Night SmackDown, but does the big dog actually have to punch the floor when he does his signature wank the arm, cricket ball, oh no, there's a spider on the floor pose thing? Why is there a protective pad on the floor for him to punch? Why does he punch the floor? Why? Because for as long as he's been doing the wanky arm cricket ball, oh, there's a spider, better punch it on the floor. Surely he didn't actually have to hit the floor to do that pose. Surely he could stop just before fist made contact with floor, could he not? But no, pyrotechnic experts Dan Gould, Grimlock 2012, and Onion Apocalypse just had to put me right in there and call me horrible names and ruin last year for me as a whole. Well, pyrotechnic experts who put me right on that day 3 months ago, you can all kiss my arse, so you can, because the big dog has come to my defence. So, a very small victory in my pathetic life. Here we are. So that's it for all your WTF moments from Friday Night SmackDown, and I have been Ross Tweedale from Cultaholic. Thank you once again for being a sexual wank fazant. That was a fine episode of SmackDown, wasn't it? There were some good bits, there were some terrible bits, so it evened out. That's analysis for you, Dave Meltzer. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. You can follow us on Twitter at Cultaholic. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. And if you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Hit subscribe and join us.